sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
It's time for the Bonnie Sher Show, a whirlwind of wit, wisdom, celebrity, and the boomer life. With a little bit of this and a lot of that and so much more you don't want to miss, here's Bonnie.
Cool in here. Well, hello, everybody, old friends and new. Thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Bonnie Sher, and I'm here to take you along on a little trip through the worlds of celebrity, the great boomer generation, and, of course, the life and times of type 1 diabetics. So, thank you again for tuning in. Please join the conversation. We have phone lines here we can open up for you at 323-843-2826. And or you can follow the hashtag BeSher, that's spelled S-H-E-R, BeSher Radio on Twitter. But please, get involved with us. We'd love to hear what you think, as long as you're nice to me. Before we get this show on the road, I'd like to thank and acknowledge Grammy-winning musician, jazz musician as well, Wayne Cobham, for composing my Super Duper Hero theme song. And I also want to take the time to thank Corey Bowen, for providing me with the jewelry, which I wear each week on the show, in exchange for... No, he didn't give you any jewelry. You should have been nicer. Well, you
nice to Corey.
Did you meet Corey?
No.
Too bad. You could have had jewelry, too. Anyway, let's not forget the point. You know how tough that gets sometimes. The point is Corey Bowen, B-O-A-N, and hit him up on Twitter, and he'll tell you more about the jewelry that every piece that he makes, and it's all pretty spectacular. So that's that. We had now the next piece of news is when we come back. Yes, we're about to take a break. I am going to have sitting with me and chatting with me actor and creator of the hit web series Child of the 70s, and his name is Michael Vaccaro. Oh, yeah, I'm already. Go ahead.
Your life story is more than the things you do. It's a story built on the moments you make today and the impact you have on others. How big is your story going to be? Live your legend.
Well, welcome back. And here we go. Welcome, Michael.
This gigantic audience you have here, it's unbelievable.
All
it's
for
like,
you.
It's like
I would do nothing but the best for you.
It's like the Tonight Show here. It's like the thousands of people. And I love your view.
Pretty, huh?
It's amazing.
It's a new view.
It's a new view
we
for
had
you.
an old view.
Yes.
We have but now we have a new view.
And but I got here late, so I didn't get into makeup. I'm sorry.
Well, you know when I did mine.
I look horrible. I'm sure. Look at myself. How could I leave
Look
the
at
house?
those. You're
How
so
could I leave
cute.
the house?
You're
looking
so
like that.
cute. Look at those eyes.
I have 2 of them. Yeah. And sometimes they work. Although, now I can't read anything anymore, so I have to.
You know what?
What?
Nowadays,
What?
you don't need to.
What? What do you mean? Can I hire somebody to read for me? Is that? What do you mean?
Call Postmates. They'll do anything for you.
Oh, yeah. Really? Anything? All right. I'll have to sign up. Postmates.
Let's not. They didn't pay for that mention. I just threw that one because that's the kind of girl I am. Michael.
Yes.
I
Yes,
know
Bonnie.
all about you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
majority of it.
Yeah.
But why don't you?
You
Tell,
know-
I know that you've been an actor. You started as a kid.
I did. I started as a child actor many years ago in a little city called New York.
Now, are you originally from New York?
Born and raised in New York City. I was born in Manhattan in 1964. Yeah, I know. And
You're serious.
I am. That is a serious thing. It's not a joke. Sometimes I actually tell people I was born in 1954.
Why? So you think
Yeah, because then they go, holy
look
fuck,
great."
you look great.
I had a girlfriend who used to do that.
Yeah.
So I said, "What are you doing?" I'm just like,
See all these crazy broads who run around telling people that they're younger. They should tell people that they're older. Then people go, oh my God, that is amazing. Right. I voted for FDR. We're going to talk about politics. So I'm going back to New York tomorrow for a couple of weeks to work on another web series. And
another one under your control?
No.
I
I got no control over this one. No,
Wow,
it's another one. I'm just an actor.
Questionable how much control we have.
I don't want any more. I'm done with that. We'll talk all about that too. But no, I'm going to shoot another web series called Last Call. And but I was born in Manhattan in a hospital called Polyclinic, which no longer exists.
You did them in, did you?
I did. I was it. I broke the mold, as they say, in that hospital. But for many years, I didn't know where it was, and I finally I don't know why I looked it up the other day. Where was Polyclinic? And I looked it up, and now it's a very fancy, very expensive condo. So isn't that weird how people in New York live in hospitals? St. Vincent's is gone,
I know.
and now it's fucking condos. So can you imagine? Like everybody I know in the 80s and
It's
90s died in that hospital,
gentrification,
and now people live
baby.
in there. I don't know.
I remember when I was growing up in New York, don't even think about going into what's now Chelsea.
Oh yeah, no, Chelsea was a shithole.
Also, it was questionable if I was allowed to go to the West Side unless I was going to the theater.
Right.
When I told my mother I wanted to move to the West Side, that was.
I got a bigger story for you. When I was born, my mother lived on 86th between West End and Riverside. Right? She moved out of that apartment because it was a ghetto, because it was a terrible neighborhood. Now, had she kept that apartment and had she bought it when it became a condo,
You would be a very wealthy man.
I would be a millionaire right now. I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I would be, yeah.
Yes, you would.
I would. Of course, I would.
Yes, you
but anyway,
would.
yes. So I was born
Don't
and
tell
raised
me
in New York City, and then I.
Did you ever have any pangs for any life other than of one in the arts? Did you ever? No.
No, I.
This wasn't the B plan.
I don't know where it came from, but it's the earliest
You got
memory.
bit. That's
yeah,
what happened.
I did. There was a documentary called That's Entertainment.
Yes, of course.
Of course, right? Now, I don't know what year that was, but I remember it was playing at the Ziegfeld in Manhattan, which, of course, is also no longer there. Fuck them. It's gone. Yeah, hi.
It
I
was
know.
there 3 years ago. It's gone now.
It's gone. It's
Bye-bye.
very. I know. It was the most beautiful movie theater in
the greatest
New York.
location.
The greatest location. Like every musical, you'd go see it opening night at the Ziegfeld, right? Well, that's gone. But anyway, I remember as a kid seeing That's Entertainment there, and I remember trying to tap dance after that. So I don't know what year that was, but so that might have been it. But yeah, it's the only thing I remember. It's my earliest memory of wanting to be an actor and a singer and a dancer. Yeah.
I think all of us at one time or another have had to work day jobs.
Uh-huh.
I don't care.
Day jobs that I can talk about on the air?
No. Well, yeah. My point being, I know how I took to it.
Yes.
How do you do it when you know where your heart is and where your talent is? But I always made them. I always told them who I was and what I really did. when I went on an interview, it wasn't about, oh, I'll be with you for 25 years.
Right.
But the 25 weeks that I'm with you, you're going to have the best Bonnie you could have gotten.
Oh, well, see.
And I had to kind of separate.
Well, that's good that you were able to do that. I couldn't do that. But I mean, no, the truth is, yes, I know I never lied to people. I always said I'm an actor, and if I take this job, and then if I get an acting job 3 days from now at 3 p.m, I'm leaving. I'm walking out of the restaurant, and I'm going to dump my plates on some table, and I'm going to leave. So I was never dishonest about it, but I also never gave them my all. Meaning, like what you just said, like you always wanted to just sort of do a good job, whatever you were doing. I didn't feel that way at all. I couldn't give two fucks about any of that stuff.
Probably why I never hired you.
Right. Right. And which is why I spend my life poor. Yeah.
Tell me about us.
Yeah, right.
That's a national thing right now. I think what I'm getting to is, have you ever been tempted, enticed, lured into, if I didn't do this, that would be a very cool thing to do. Have you ever had any of those kind of thoughts?
No. I talk about that with my shrink a lot.
Speaking of your shrink.
Yes, we'll get into that too. But yes, I talk to my shrink about that idea a lot. And I think I have never even entertained those thoughts because it's too scary for me. I've lived a very long life, and I've been doing this since I was a child. I got into SAG when I was 8 years old. And so I feel like my entire identity is wrapped around this. And if I didn't do this, I don't know if I would know who I was. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's scary to me. It's like I don't know what I would do with myself every morning when I woke up. I mean,
Well, not to be a Debbie Downer on that.
Yeah. Please go right ahead.
I think that whatever you do, you'll be successful, because I don't believe it's about what you do, but about how you do it, and the same integrity that you bring to your craft and art. That goes with you. That doesn't go into the pack it away box. I mean, we may not want to. It's like visiting the room where all the forgotten lyrics live.
Yeah.
It's nice to know it's there, although you'd just as soon not see it, but.
Well, yeah, I get that. And I imagine that is true. I don't want to test it. But yeah, I believe that I have integrity, and I believe that I would want to be, if I were doing something completely different, that I would want to be a good person and be happy and be liked and all that shit. Or maybe not. Now that I think about it, now that I say that out loud, maybe not. Maybe I
went the other way first, and I like being a good guy so much better. I was such a pain.
Yeah. Well, no, that's true.
Well, that's true. I was a pain.
No. That's
Good.
true
you
for me.
You want to come back on the show again?
That's true for me as well. Because yes, I did spend a long time of my life being an asshole. I'm better now. I'm older. You get older, and you just
Well, you definitely get older.
You definitely get older.
Okay, listen. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm not leaving you on. We get older now.
Okay.
Give me another line. Shoot another line to me. I can't leave it while we're getting older.
And I'm a better person now for it.
Now,
how's that?
Hang on to that thought, please. And we're going to take another little break. And when I can turn, I want to know how you've gotten involved in the fragrance business.
All right.
You'll share that with us?
I can share it with Bonnie Sher.
We'll be back. Take it away.
Since when did experience become something to hide? I say we own it. Lose all that negativity. Just let it go. It's just bad energy. Oh, and lose those terrible black balloons they give you on your 50th. What's up with that?
Hey, we hear you. That's why our members love AARP the magazine. It celebrates you with fun and provocative content, from lifestyle and entertainment to in-depth reporting. And it's just one of the great benefits of membership.
If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP,
Then you don't know ARP.
get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
To be at peace with myself is the most prominent thing, and I am at peace with myself. I didn't deal this deck, I'm just playing the game. That's all. That's it. Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise. Been making sure they get the nutrition that I need, and it's a balanced meal. My name is Maurice McGriff. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
All revved up. Welcome back. So let's go right back.
It's just an amazing crowd. I can't believe it.
You think I didn't have to pay them for this?
I was just going to say, that's like...
they get lunch.
Yeah. Is that what Trump did? He gave them lunch? I wasn't supposed to say that word, but I did.
What, lunch?
Yeah, that word.
That's the only word I heard.
Okay. But that's what he gave them, right? He gave them lunch when he made his announcement, right? A year ago. That he was running when he went down the escalator when we missed the opportunity to shoot him.
No. See, I that gives me creeps.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
whole thing
You know,
gives
when
me
I'm
creeps.
really annoyed with somebody and want to, it's happened.
What?
But it's happened. What I wish them, I don't ever wish them dead. That's already too easy.
Yeah.
No, I wish them a really bad toothache in the desert Saturday night at midnight. At least,
So, okay. Well, see, yeah, all right. That's a fine place to start.
You could be on Ramon Road.
I mean, the truth is, no, I don't want Trump to die. I want him to go to prison.
And I should have to pay for his dinner?
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sure, why not?
Anyway, we don't need to talk about that.
No, but what I do want to talk about, darling, is your new fragrance line.
Sure.
Take it away, Fragrance Man.
So, well, you remember there was this actress.
I don't remember how you even got into this.
Well, there was an actress named Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember her, right? She did some
do.
movies.
Couple.
She did a couple of movies. She was pretty. Anyway, I just remember White Diamonds, right? And that's how you have to say it. White Diamonds. You have to whisper, right? Anyway, they still have those commercials on television for White Diamonds. Anyway, so everybody has a fragrance, and I thought, one day, I'm going to be a big star. I'm going to have a TV show. I'm going to win an Oscar, and I want a fragrance.
I'm happyamaz.com.
There you go. That's right. That's right. One day I'm going to be a .com just like Bonnie Sher, and I want a fragrance. I want my own fragrance. So anyway, I know this guy named Scott Travis who has a candle company.
Oh, this is Scott.
Scott Travis, CBTcandle.com, right? And so he makes these scented candles. And so we were talking about his candles.
I love scented candles.
I do too. I love a scented candle. So I said, well, if you ever, and you have to mix fragrances in order to make scented candles, right? And I said, well, I have this great idea I thought it was a great idea for a fragrance. And if you ever be interested, let me know. And he said, yes, I'm interested. Let's do it. And so I told him I knew what I wanted it to be called. It's called Proteus. Proteus is one of my favorite Shakespeare characters from a play called Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Who both smelled very good. Is that the deal?
Let's just say, yeah, Proteus smelled very good. Yes, sure. And I knew what I wanted it to smell like. And I learned all about fragrances and colognes and all that stuff. And there's a top note. And then there's this thing, and then there's that thing, and then so
you put it in a bottle.
And you put it in a bottle and shake it up. And so I told him exactly what I wanted it to smell like, and so he went into his meth lab or whatever it is, and created this fragrance, and brought it back to me, and I loved it. And I picked a bottle, and we had a launch, and we did a little commercial, and now we sell it online. Go to cbtcandle.com, and you can buy Proteus, and it's very inexpensive, and it smells delicious. Is delicious the right word? Because you can't taste it. It smells delicious. Is that the right word? It smells delicious. It does.
Well, unless it has patchouli in it.
There's no patchouli in it. The top note is amaretto. Because I also like to drink amaretto.
I hear little cookies, Sher.
The little amaretto cookies, and
and
there's fig in it, and there's what they call masculine florals, which totally gets me all hot and bothered. I love a masculine floral.
I never met a masculine floral I didn't like.
Right, a masculine rosebud. I was going to say, but that's a whole other story.
Well,
sorry.
Michael.
We have 10 minutes left.
No, sweetheart, we really don't. Actually, no, because I'll get yelled at any minute.
All right. Okay.
But,
yes.
What's happening with season 5?
We're doing. I have a web series called Child of the '70s, and Bonnie Sher is on it. She plays Dr. Chabot.
His Shrink.
The Shrink.
You ready?
The Shrink. And so, yes, we're doing one more season, a fifth and final season of Child of the 70s. We start production this coming month, August. The end of
when
August,
you get
we're gonna
back
start.
from New York.
As soon as I get back from New York, we're going to start production on. And,
busy hands are happy hands.
And many people who you all know are in it. Bruce Valanche is in it, and Ann Walker
Bruce
is in it.
has been here with me.
Yes, and Bonnie Sher is in it, and I'm in it, and Ted Lange from The Love Boat is in it, and
he played the.
He played a gynecologist.
A gynecologist. How
Yes.
could I have forgotten
Not
that?
my gynecologist, but he plays a gynecologist. And your
Gynecologically
next guest is in it as well. Your T1 guest.
How about that?
I know it's
something else we have in common.
It's a coincidence, right? So, and then we're gonna hopefully we will premiere season 5 at the end of the year, or maybe the beginning of 2018. And we're very excited.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good work.
Thanks.
Good for
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, you're going to keep me informed.
I certainly will.
The deal.
Yes.
And thank you so much for taking the time to come in and schmooze with me.
I can't believe it went by that quick. I thought I was going to be here all day just chit-chatting. I have a whole list of things I was going to talk about. Trump.
You'll you'll have to come back, and hopefully we won't have to talk about the
I'll
T
come back
word.
I'll come back and not talk about 45s. There we go. How's that?
Well, first of all, tell people
Yes.
how they can follow you. Give them a little rundown.
Well, of course, you can find Michael Vaccaro on Facebook. You can also find Michael Vaccaro on Twitter. You can find my web series, Child of the 70s. Just go to YouTube and type in Child of the 70s, or you can go to www.theofficialchildofthese70s.com. We're also on Funny or Die. We're also on Deku, Dekkoo. Deku is like a Netflix-type subscription service, but it's all LGBT programming. It's amazing.
Is that new?
It is. Well, I'm relatively new. I think about a year or two now. But yeah, it's like Netflix, except for it's all LGBT films and shows. It's fantastic. And we're just about to debut on Deku. Deku. So we're very excited about that as well.
Dewhurst.
Yeah.
Again, Michael.
And MichaelVaccaro.com.
And MichaelVaccaro.com. Michael, it was a pleasure to have you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
And thank you.
Oh, my. Hello.
And as we go to break, I'd like to take this time to acknowledge the important work of the Diabetes Research Institute and encourage you to support their efforts. There are millions of us who have diabetes who live with the dream of a cure. You know, this is a devastating disease. We dream of living without the painful finger pricks, without the insulin injections, and, of course, the risk of the life-threatening complications. Scientists at the Diabetes Research Institute are working hard, and they are, to make that dream a reality by finding a biological cure. They're advancing research to patients and changing lives. Please visit them online at diabetesresearch.org. Please. Our song of the day is coming up, which features the sisters, and in this case we're talking about the sisters Pam Vincent and Joyce Vincent. They are going to be featured this coming Sunday, July 23rd, at the Eagles Conference honoring Christian celebrities right here in Sherman Oaks, California. Check them out. Google it. Find it. They'll be there. I promise you it's going to be a marvelous early evening. So, see you after this.
Type 1 diabetes can be living in anyone.
Type 1 diabetes is when your pancreas doesn't produce insulin. It's not caused by your diet. It's not caused by anything you did.
Type 1 diabetes can be very serious.
Blindness, amputation.
Learn more about type 1 diabetes.
Help support JDRF finding a cure.
T1D looks like my brother.
T1D looks like a friend.
Type 1 diabetes looks like me.
Two different faces, but in tight places. We think and we act as one. Those who seen us know that not a thing can come tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. Woo! All kinds of weather, we stick together, the same in the rain or sun. Two different faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Those who've seen us know that not a thing can come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. Woo! Sisters! Ba-da-da-da-da. Sisters! Ba-da-da-da-da. Sisters! Ba-da-da. Don't you come between me and my man. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da.
Just wonderful. Don't miss that event if you can. If you're around town, that would be Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley, a.k.a. Sherman Oaks. Well, welcome back to the Bonnie Sher Show, and my co-host for this segment, my T1 co-host for this segment, is Orestes Sophocleos, who is a member of the T1D, that's type 1 diabetes community, who lives here in California by way of grace. Welcome, Orestes.
Oh, hi. So nice to be here.
It's good to have you. Thank you for sitting in with me today. Okay, we know you're a type 1.
Yes.
Share your story. How long have you been a diabetic? Start off with that.
Okay, so I am turning 36 this August, so I would say that I've been a diabetic since 12. So that's, 24 years
and
now.
It counts.
And I count. I still count. That's good. So... it was like I got it after a shock. I think that's what happens to everybody. This is how it manifests, mostly to children, I guess, of that age. So my grandmother died, and then a week later I was a diabetic, and I was like into a hospital. Now that's how it happened.
That's what I find so interesting, or one of the things that I find so interesting. I've a lot of ideas of what magical thing had to come together in just such a way on a Tuesday at 4:00. What happened? I mean, I was going along jaunty jolly for 15 and a half years, and all of a sudden my pancreas, see you later.
Yeah.
What did I do?
And nobody knows how to answer that. Even though I was thinking now I should find a good joke to say after a sad story like that. Just to tip it over.
Okay, tip it over by saying, "But I'm still here."
I am still here. Thank God.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
You've been living in the U.S. now for how long?
Well, with a small break, I would say almost a couple of years now.
And so clearly you face life as a T1 on more than one continent.
Yes. Yeah, I would say that too.
Yeah. Do you see any major differences? I mean, I understand that your health care is you don't pay for insurance like we do.
No. Yeah, in Greece,
do you think that the quality of care is similar in a paid situation versus a non-pay?
Well, I would say that definitely a paid situation is a better one, given the fact that you pay your money to, and then you have a choice of doctors, a choice of whatever. I mean, I had a private doctor in Greece too, since I was 12, and then I switched at some point. But the thing is, we are getting our medication for free from the hospitals, the government hospitals there, and that's a massive help. That's one major difference.
Is.
Absolutely, because I remember, when it kind of begun, when at the beginning of it, my dad had to pay for everything, and that it was too much. Because back in the day, because it happened, I would say in 1993, and that's Greece we're talking about. I mean, here in America, things are quite different. 1993 was like more advanced, but back in Greece, it was different. So my dad had to pay for everything, and it was like right at the point when they just they were stopping the syringe that they had, and they were going into the whole pen thing, and it was different. I switched in the first couple of years or 3 years. I switched like 3 or 4 drugs, insulin, I might say. But I think that the biggest issue of it all here in America, I would say, it's the food culture. There's a lot of comfort food. There's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of you have
carbs are us.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
that's a cute name for a little bakery. Carbs are us. We can sell your fragrance because it's got it smells like that. Make the whole family work. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about his fragrance now because it says Proteus is his favorite. It's his favorite Shakespearean character, but he's also a mighty, kick-ass Greek hero. Which I'm not going to expand to, because that's going to be the end of the show, right?
I miss all the good stuff. Whisper it to me later. So now. Oh, let me go back to Greece, please, with you for a minute. Was there the same kind of attention in treatment paid to exercise, emotional balancing, or was it just the medicine?
No, it was just the medicine. I would say that my endocrinologist, he, of course...
Say that in Greek. I just want to hear what it sounds like.
It's actually the same word, endocrinologos.
So I like that so much better.
It's the same. It's the same word.
All I need is some uso now, and I'm
you're gonna be happy about. No, it's so yeah. I would say that there was a massive lack of emotional support, because I had to do therapy in my 35th year to just get rid of all the problems.
Do they use the concept of a diabetes educator in Greece?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No,
I wouldn't say that. I'd say that if you go into a hospital, you're gonna get a nurse and a doctor that's gonna sit down with you and they're gonna walk you through whatever.
Right.
I mean, at some point,
there's no continuation of that.
No. I mean, you can. I think it's up to whichever patient decides to do what, but it's I mean, from the places that I come from, emotional support is not a. They're gonna say, "What are you nuts? Well, you nuts? Don't you have friends?" That's what we say in Greece.
Boy, when you have a therapist look at you and say, "Are you nuts?" This is not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. No. But this
What are you, crazy? Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you think I was coming in for a good time?
I mean, no, they didn't endorse it. I don't know now because I've been away from Greece and Cyprus and from this whole community for over like almost a decade now. So I've been in London before that. And
well, you and I were chatting a little while before we started the show, and my question to you was, now that you're living here, are there pieces in your support that you don't see? And we were talking about nutrition, and I made the suggestion, I really did, of seeing a diabetes educator. But you really do need that along with an endo. I mean, the educator can only do so much.
Sure.
But as opposed to being one who's like so reluctant.
Yeah.
You've passed that. I mean, we all go through those times. We burn out.
Yeah.
I don't want. I just don't want. You can do that for a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, just a day though. Yeah, exactly.
Only a day, because already by the next day, your numbers
are going. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, I'd say
those are the 3 million missing votes.
They were all death to the T1s. I'd say in London, what happened was quite different. They would sit down with you and they will explain things and they will ask you
slowly, very slowly.
Yeah, but very effectively. Whereas in Greece and my other half, which is Cyprus, which is another small island in the Mediterranean, they will just give you and they tell you do it. And this is where I am, because I'm an actor. I can't do that. I always ask for explanation.
Show it to me once and I'll give it to you 7 times a week. I know that one. But you got to show it to me.
Yeah, exactly. I need explanation. And the reason for that is because all I heard was, from my first endocrinologist was like, listen, you can live a normal life as long as you do X amount of stuff. And it's a healthy lifestyle and blah, blah, blah and all that. But, when you're 12, you want to have spaghetti with and whatever on it, and you don't care about all this. But I was doing very well up until I finished high school. It's after high school that things went sideways, right? But I think most of the difficulties are finding good exercise, because all T1s know that we're losing, first of all, muscle and most important, testosterone. That's another thing.
That's more important for some of us than others.
Yep, just for the male population out there. So this is another thing that they have to know how to maintain with food and with exercise and with all that stuff, not with drugs.
There is one thing I think about this disease is there are so many components.
Mm-hmm.
Fix the nose, the mouth doesn't work. And all of the neuropathies. And unfortunately, we talk about research for a cure, and I asked an endocrinologist who was on the show with me a few months back, and I said, do you really believe that we have science yet for a cure? And because I hear a lot of this speak about, it's because of the money, but the drug companies don't want to release it because then they're putting, the kibosh on this ridiculous amount of money that they're earning from we who have this disease. I'm still hard-pressed to believe that argument, especially when the amount of research in Moscow, in Edmonton, Canada, in Tel Aviv, Israel.
Yeah.
We can talk about many of the research projects here in the U.S., but see, I don't believe that. Because if you think about it, have you seen anybody cure a cold yet? So let's hold on to that thought.
Well, there is a they say that there is. I have a friend who is into diabetes research. He's actually Greek Cypriot who worked here for a long time, and they are trying to find a way to find a solution that it's not going to be quite biological, but it's going to be something that it's more of an AI kind of thing.
That's where everything's going now.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a type 1 who has also been on the show, who had a beta cell transplant. Mm-hmm. So for now over a year, he has not required any parenteral insulin.
Yeah.
He pretty much can eat what he wants, although he's very careful about what he eats. He still eats like a T1.
He should be, yeah.
I already would have moved into the bakery. But I think that's the difference between men and women. We are, I think, much more the eaters. And the whole thing about comfort food. Because we need such great comfort all the time to keep us from not committing murder.
Bunny, I'll tell you, I'll probably move in the bakery with you anytime.
Good. Ooh, this is the best thing I've heard this week. and I want to hear more, but we got to let you go this time. I wish you every best luck. We will stay in touch with you, find out any information we can get out to you. You're also on Facebook, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I might suggest that you start sticking your nose into some of the groups, the diabetes
groups. Yeah, sure, of course.
Not only will you get some great information, but you'll hear from some really lovely people. And we are a community. I didn't realize how much. I didn't know another diabetic the first 20, 25 years of my disease.
Oh, my God.
And now, of course,
we're everywhere.
But
we'll multiply.
But, I always say it takes a one to know a one.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So I wish you all the best. All the best. And thank you for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So I'm reading through the thing, and then we did the song, and we're getting a little farther down. We did that. I'm just like, whoa, better do this a little faster. Okay, so now what's happening is I think we're about to go to another break, aren't we? Oh, Jarvis says we're going to a break, and he's the guy who knows, so we'll see you on the other side of this.
For 3 million Americans with celiac disease, eating gluten, a protein in wheat, barley, and rye, can make them sick. Even small amounts of gluten in many products on grocery shelves can trigger painful and debilitating symptoms. Most food labels identify products containing gluten, but one widely used type of product doesn't: over-the-counter and prescription drugs. That's right. Manufacturers sometimes use gluten in medications as an inactive ingredient. But drug labels usually don't indicate the use of gluten. To avoid gluten in medication, celiac patients must spend time and effort researching medications online and calling manufacturers. That is not a realistic option. Who can fix this problem? The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which has long been aware of the issue. In 2008, a New York man with celiac disease urged the agency to ban gluten in medications, or at least to require they be labeled. The petition attracted 73 public comments, but the FDA did not act. In 2011, the FDA received another 138 comments. Still, the FDA did not act. Now lawyers at Public Citizen are representing the man in a lawsuit. The goal? To get the FDA to act on his request. Share the facts at www.citizen.org/pressroom.
Yeah, that gluten, it's a tricky one. By the way, if any of our fellow T1s would like to join me here as a Type 1 co-host one week, it is so simple. All you have to do is write me. Okay, that's really all you have to do. We'll find a date and we will do this. And no, you don't have to live here in Los Angeles. We can Skype or we can have you call in. But email me at bonnie@bonniesher.com. And truly, it's just that easy, and we'd love to hear from you. Next up, Boomer News. We did that already. Okay, so here's the news. Well, we did that. Okay, so really what we're going to do now is my views from the soapbox. You remember my soapbox? That's the one that what I really think was a cool thing or deserves some positive reinforcement, as opposed to my shout down, which really speaks to who I think should be ashamed of themselves. So, you know that now, right? Got it? Good. Okay, the shout out today is to Senator John McCain, a true American hero. And I want to shout out prayers. I want to shout out how in such a time when there's such division in our nation, I've been kind of heartened to see a bipartisan good wish for him. So, sir, what I have to say to you is be well, be strong, and thank you for your service. Next, my shout down. I have a pencil. I love this. It's like having a magic wand. The White House is celebrating U.S. manufactured products this week. Okay, and this despite the head of the administration, that guy, he makes vodka. Bet he makes that in Aroski. Menswear and board games. All made overseas. So I kind of don't get that. That's just too silly for me. Love the idea, but come on. All right. So now, before we say goodbye, I want to thank my guests today, Michael Vaccaro and Orestes Sophocleos. I got it. Whew. I don't have to work this hard usually. And that's our show for this week. I sure hope to see you again next week for another 50-minute trip through the land of Bonnie, which is close to Oz. The Boomer generation, of course, this closely knit group of ours, known as the T1D community. Until then, please visit me at bonniesher.com. You can follow the number 1 Bonnie Sher on Twitter and like the Bonnie Sings Lena, Lena, Facebook fan page. Many of you are already aware of the very close relationship that I shared with Sammy Davis Jr. He was my mentor. He was my friend. And I like to end every show, and I do end every show in sort of that Carol Burnett fashion with a wink and a nod and my love to Sammy Davis Jr. Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.